Hello everyone and good evening and welcome to the FB4 Daily. This is your Sunday night show. Gav here as usual and Chris Brack will be joining me for this one. The Reds are 10 points clear in the league and it's looking good. A massive couple of weeks ahead and we're going to go through and have a look at them and we're just going to generally look at the weekend's football. This of course is brought to you by Paddy Power. Paddy Power is a bookies, a website and an app. Gamble responsibly, and if you do so, please try to do your gambling with Paddy Power. Yeah, look, that's all I've got to say. Let's get this show on the road. Here we go. And here we go, the FB4 Daily for Sunday night. Chris, it's 10 points and another decent weekend of football for Liverpool overall.
Pretty much, mate, yeah. All we needed was Arsenal to turn up and would have been perfect, but,
you're
you
asking
can't
for
ask
miracles
these days. I know, you can't ask for a miracle, can you?
No, you're absolutely asking for miracles when it comes to Arsenal, to be honest with you.
They'll come to their fan account. They deliberately lost so they could save the world from us. So,
is that what it is, yeah?
That's what it is, yeah. They could have won, but decided they were best not to.
Yeah. It definitely looked that way. When I was watching their game, I was thinking these are definitely deliberately not turning up here in order to stop Liverpool. It definitely came across that way. There was no way it came across as them being an absolute shambles and Man City taking full advantage. But look, we'll go over the whole weekend, game by game. We're going to pick out a couple of games, but we're going to start with ourselves. A 2-0 win at home to Watford, the early kick-off yesterday. And I thought afterwards 6 out of 10 performance, but it's a 2-0 win. And to me, it felt a little bit, not that the team were tired, but it felt like they just wanted this one out of the way. Bigger fish to fry, and the next kind of block of games that they're targeting starts from now. Did you get that feeling off it?
I got the feeling they would. Salzburg took more out of the team than we thought, despite the changes. I think you could see it in the legs. I think it's one of those games where we probably could have done with getting a goal in the first 10.
Yeah.
And I think that probably would have settled us down and probably we could have controlled it better. But, there was always that concern. They got a new manager, and in fairness to Watford, they gave it a good go. I mean, there is a question to ask of their players of why weren't you doing this for the previous two managers? There is that question, but you can see why they're near the bottom. They just can't score.
Yeah, they had chances. Like going back to the start of the game, the lineup is there. He goes with Milner at left back, tries to give Robertson a rest. He has to go Gomez and Van Dijk. Trent is right back in midfield. It looked like Wijnaldum, Henderson, and then it was a tree of Shaqiri, Mane, Firmino, then Salah. I wasn't really comfortable with that formation, and it kind of bore fruit as the game went on, because it looked like a system that we haven't really delved into much this season. It looked a bit rusty. It just didn't look like it was clicking very often.
Yeah, I was fine with the system because I thought it probably gets the best out of Shaqiri, and it allows us only to use two centre mids just to rotate a little bit. Unfortunately for Shaqiri, it just seems to be one of those games where he just didn't get into it. I don't think it's lack of effort or anything like that. It's just you have one of those games where it just didn't seem to go down the right hand side. Everything went down the left.
Yeah, no.
So it was one of those games a bit for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was. It was one of those. It just looked like I don't know. Maybe that Salzburg game did take more out of us than we thought, and the change of system probably didn't help. I think the Milner left back, I don't think it really worked. We end up having to bring Robertson on anyway, although it's for Wijnaldum who gets injured. But I don't think it really worked. I think that put Watford in some sort of a comfort zone. Now, don't get me wrong, I thought we dominated the game for the vast majority, but the killer instinct and the penetration we usually get down the left-hand side probably wasn't there as much. But there was a couple of talking points in the game. Like, Watford do have chances, and I've heard certain commentators on Watford say they haven't been that bad, they just can't stick the ball in the net. We gave them a fair few chances to do so, didn't we?
We did, which is probably slightly concerning because we don't really want to be given those chances. But with the exception of the Sarr air shot, which obviously should do better with, the biggest chance I saw was Delafeu clean through. But even with that, I was looking at going, they were definitely saves. I was going, well, Alisson should save these. There wasn't one where you thought Alisson's done a world here. Maybe I'm doing now. I don't know where I'm doing Alisson disservice because he's that good a keeper. You can't just expect that level now from him. So possibly I'm dabbling with fake praise a little bit. Where I'm saying like, well, he should save them, but if that's probably because he's been that consistent. Normally he is. It says in the Milner situation, yeah, he isn't as good going forward from the left than he is on the right. But I suppose we did sort of comment after the United game was, if you're going to lose on the front three, you've got to be a bit more attacking in midfield. So I suppose to supplement the Milner being a more defensive left back, I suppose that's why they threw in Shaqiri. It didn't work, but I can see why he did it. He's going with 4 attackers is pretty bold, which Klopp doesn't do very often these days.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I just think we just look so good down that left when we have Robertson and Mane. It was just it looked a little bit disjointed, and Watford were kind of happy for Milner to have it, and Milner was a bit nervous about going forward because that guy Sarr has blistering pace.
He is quick.
I've heard Mane speak about him and how quick he is. I think it might have been, was he with them last season?
No, they only got him in the summer.
They only got him in the summer. But I do remember when he went to Watford, Mane apparently telling Robertson, watch for this guy because he's absolutely lightning. But we did give them chances. Like if you look through the first half of the game, Deeney nearly gets in on one on the back post. Of course, Sarr misses a kick, right in front of goal. But other than that, they had a couple of moments. But was it more down to where rustiness, I suppose, or just were we a little bit off at that gave them that chance? It wasn't like we were playing a full pelt and getting picked apart, was it?
Yeah, I think it's more. I think we created a lot of their chances from probably a little bit of sloppiness. Nearly the most comical own goal ever with Van Dijk and Alisson.
It was never going in
between the two. I know, but it was comical though. Even Klopp was a bit concerned about it. But it was just that little bit of sloppiness. That it could just be a bit of mental fatigue. The Salzburg game and things like that. I know I keep going back to it, but that was a big result. I know in the end we won 2-0, but the first half was a good boxing end-to-end sort of game. So I don't know. I mean, we've got plenty of pundits now. Jermaine Genius seems to be the worst of it.
Oh, stop. Which is like, I get on to Jermaine Genius and the match of the day edit that they put out there last night as well. I will get on to that in a little bit.
I think everyone's a bit obsessed now with, and I think this is probably where sometimes I think people need to use their eyes rather than listen to what the pundit's saying. Is like, oh, Liverpool aren't playing very well. Well, to be honest, if all it took to get top of the league was not play very well, we'd have been top of the league quite a lot. It's more Liverpool are managing games better. They're not going gun ho like they were 2-3 years ago. Which just don't get me wrong, was really excited, but there's only so many 5-4s you can take before eventually it's going to catch you out.
Yeah, I feel like we are managing games. I'm 95% sure now that this squad and Klopp are managing themselves through to the first week of January and then feel like they can explode. I genuinely believe that. Like, there's comments coming in there. Kev says Alisson was top notch on Saturday. He was brilliant. Liverpool Chris says the Watford game was not the most comfortable, but a win is a win. Yeah, there's another little element to this I'll ask Chris about now in a second as well. Megan McCallion says we got the job done, not the best performance. Salah looks like he's getting back to his form. Thought Gomez was man of the match. Gomez had a really good game in fairness to him. Liverpool Chris says, Gav, any idea when Minamino's medical will be? Any update on Werner Sancho? I can say that I don't think Salzburg have another game now for about a month. I think they go into winter break now.
No, most of the team that played against us were all injured for their last game.
Okay, well, I think they do have a winter break now where you don't see them for a month. So that medical will probably happen in the next week, and he will be in on the 1st of January with the looks of it. Adam Petrucci owns says, how do you rate the kids' chances against Villa in the Cup? We'll get on to that later, and we'll try figure out what we're going to do with regards to that. Stephen Kingsbury says, if we go on the basis that 92 points wins the league, 13 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses with 21 to play, does it? 14 wins, does it? 14 wins puts you on 91 points with 7 to play. Trust me, lads, I'm doing the countdown. It's 14. If we get another 14
18.
wins, you want 18 for different reasons, and we will get into that as well. But trust me, I said this at the start of the season: 30 wins, 5 draws, 3 defeats, but gives you 95. No other team in this league is doing 95 points. I guarantee it. Kev says, I think Watford had 3 shots on target. Compare that to the commentary about the performance. Tom Connolly says, evening all, enjoying the live stream. Good evening, Tom. I don't think I've seen your name on here before, but you're very, very, very welcome. But look, one other element without nitpicking into this game and stuff like that, because I think it is one of those where you go, not really great, probably an average enough performance, but we get the result. The goals we're going to get into, there's a little bit of VAR in there, which we will do as well. But the weather. I know a couple of lads that were at the game last night. Ray, who does comment on the chat quite often, he was there, and the word coming back was it was absolutely Baltic in Liverpool yesterday. The sun was causing issues for players on the pitch. The wind was causing issues. It was really, really cold. Can that affect the game like that? For these, top earning footballers at this stage, can it really be that much?
I'm sure it can do. If the wind's getting up, I'm sure it can. I mean, everyone knows Klopp loves talking about the weather. Unfortunately, it only ever gets highlighted whenever we drop points. People think it's an excuse, but he talks about it all the time. I mean, he's give the wind an assist for Sarr's miss hit.
Yeah,
so they blew it off course. That's why he didn't hit it properly. But I mean, the passing for both teams wasn't as crisp as you normally expect. So maybe that is a factor. Maybe that's why we were a bit slow getting into it. I'm not really sure, to be honest, but.
Yeah, no,
it probably is a factor.
One thing I noticed in it, especially first half, was the amount of ball we are hitting, and Trent and even the centre halves. Some of the diagonals were holding up in the wind. Some are going a bit further than expected. Trent was trying to hit some down the the centenary stand side in the first half, and it was just like they were drifting out. He wasn't trying to hit as many diagonals, getting us on the front foot. It may have been just one of those where there was an effect with regards to the weather and a different kind of way. And the way they say, like in FA Cup games, this pitch is a real leveller. But when you see a Premier League team going to a League 2 team or a conference side playing a championship side, maybe the weather was a bit of a leveller there yesterday. Barry says Leicester have wobbled. They won't beat that City team. Monterrey, anyone get a look? Had hoped we'd get Al Sadd. I don't know what about either of them. Stephen Kingsley says there's major hailstorms down here in Devon. I do know there's some snow forecast in Ireland as well. There was some snow in Ireland earlier on today. Ant says Mane never offside in the ground. We didn't have a clue why. Barry Carr says it was his armpit again. But look, the big talking point of the first half is that goal we score, and it comes off the back of a little bit of not Watford pressure, because I think they've an attack. It goes out for a corner. It's a lovely flick by Firmino. Gets Mane away. Mane doesn't hesitate. Puts it in the path of Salah, and Salah does the rest. It was a throwback, wasn't it, to Liverpool of probably 18 months ago, where we just blistering counter-attack and you forget about it. You're just not dealing with us.
Yeah, it was brilliant, wasn't it? That's 3 right-footed goals in a row now for Mane. Sorry, for Salah, which is not bad for a guy who's got no right foot, allegedly.
Yeah, that's a great point. Never thought of it.
And for a guy who's having a shit season, according to everyone in the media, he's now level with Mane.
Yeah, they both on 14 for the season.
Yeah, so one's having an amazing season, one's having a shit season. Both on the same number of goals.
Yeah,
funny that, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. It's all media driven, but it's a brilliant goal. It's a brilliant finish. Foster hasn't got a chance. I seen on Match of the Day last night. I think it was Shearer. It might have been Shearer. I always think it's Shearer, and was it Shearer on it last night?
It was Shearer and Ian Rice.
Yeah, so Shearer's given out because Sarr runs 80 yards and doesn't get a tackle in. In defence of Sarr, I think he's half thinking, do I tackle, or he's putting his leg out thinking Salah might take another touch to come across him, and he's trying to do something there. But like when Alan Shearer's picking out a fella for running 80 yards and not putting in a proper tackle, what about all the other lads that should be defending? That's your right-sided forward that's trying to get back, but that's Match of the Day.
I think so. Yeah, I think Sarr's scared to give it a penalty away.
That's what I think he is. I think he's thinking, if I go in here, I could give a penalty away. If I dive in or a tackle, he might come inside me here, and I'm out of the game anyway. I think he was caught between two stools, and he was genuinely caught because he didn't know what to do. Keith Plunkett says, good evening, gents. Another win for the Reds. We're getting boring now. No wonder everyone hates us. Yeah, everybody's Leicester, everybody's City, everybody's everything else. Sure, Arsenal gave City 3 points today just to stop us being 17 points clear of them. Who would you choose between Werner and Sancho, says Chris, Liverpool Chris. We'll get on to that before the end of the show. This show is usually a half an hour, but I think me and Chris have decided somewhere between 45 and an hour, so we will get to random stuff, players, all sorts of stuff when we get this game and the other couple of games out of the way. But it's a really, really good goal, and it puts us 1-0 up, and it settles us a little bit. And the two talking points from the second half, Chris. Well, firstly, you have the Mane header, and it's VAR again. And again, if you look at the decisions that's being made throughout the season, he's offside. All right. But again, the transparency is bad, isn't it? It's like Ant says,
my initial
nobody
thought,
in the ground knows what's going on.
no, my initial thought when they first showed it before they start doing the doodling with the lines is, oh, he looks just off there from that angle. And they show a slightly different angle. You go, oh no, actually no. I think the commentator was going, oh no, he looks on. Then they drew the line and went, oh no, he's off. Yeah. So that's where it's a bit confusing. I mean, what doesn't help? This is probably me sticking up for VR a little bit. Unlike Anfield, the one problem Anfield and Old Trafford have got is because they don't have a big screen, they can't show anything. Which we saw with the other game, Antonio. He scored against Southampton, had a dislike because it hit his hand, similar to Mane's. And straight away they showed on the screen it hit his hand.
Yeah.
And I think it diffused everything. Everyone goes, well, if you like it, I'll go, well, it has hit his hand. All right.
Yeah.
And it stops it. My sort of hope for Liverpool is possible when they do the Anfield Road extension is if they can think of some way of building a screen into the corner. Because I do think that'll stop it. But until that happens, they've got to think of a better way of communicating it. Whether it's George Sefton doing an announcement saying, VAR check, offside, Sadio Mane. Even that, you go, right, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and
at least then you know what it is.
Exactly. At least you're sitting there going, right, they're checking on Mane, was he on offside or not? But it is offside. But is there still a bit? Does it still look a bit dodgy to you that you draw one line and he looks on, and then you draw another one and he looks off?
Yeah, I mean the one that looked worse was Salah's second, where they were drawing lines. He goes, the guy literally on the line behind him, so you don't need a line for this.
Yeah, it's I don't know. The fella's foot. They're measuring by your man's foot, and then they're measuring from Mane's standing foot, his centre of gravity. They come out and they bring a line up to his furthest part of his body that's forward.
Yeah, I think what the pundits won't accept, and they like to frame it this way because none of them like it, is technically VAR isn't wrong. VAR is putting the law in place. Now they all go, oh, that's not the law. I know, it's there's got to be, we all know there's areas of grey, but unfortunately, the way the laws are written at the moment, they don't allow that. I wouldn't be surprised if by the summer the offside laws changed again, where it may go back to the old daylight law, where if you're slightly ahead or there is daylight, then it'll be given as offside, not your armpit, not your. I mean, the other thing with Manny, yes, if he is offside, he's facing the wrong way for a start. So it's not that much it's not much advantage when you're facing the wrong way.
Yeah,
I've seen it in the women's football where a girl's given offside, and the back of her heel was offside. It was just facing the wrong way, and she didn't even see the ball, so she ran at it. So you're like, it's not really an advantage there.
Yeah,
but I think what it is highlighting is some of the nonsense in the football rules.
Yeah, no, it's just. Do you know what I'd nearly rather if they drew the line and then put it on the screen and went, there's the line, he's offside, rather than showing a fella messing around with a mouse pad, the kind of way, with a mouse and he's drawing diagrams or whatever he's doing. It just looks like a big game of Spider-Graph, to be honest with you. But
yeah, we still do the thing you and me both shout before is hear the fellas talk. Yeah. What are you looking at?
Yeah.
Right, I'm checking Manny. I think it's Manny that's off. Right, okay, just checking. Yeah, it's his left arm that's off. Right, Manny's off with left arm. Yeah. Because then you can just say the ref, if anyone says offside, why say it's your left arm. It's your left armpit that's off.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That way, then look, you can still disagree because we're football fans. We'll always disagree. But at least you can hear what they're thinking. Then you go, oh, right, okay, so that's what he's looking at. Okay, I wouldn't have looked for that, but fair enough. Okay, that's what he's looking for.
Antico says they can explain it though. Can we actually anymore at the match? Even Salah's second was a farce. Firmino's been off form all season, says Lubac 77. We got on to Firmino
that's
as
wrong.
well. I think
that's
he's wrong
anyway,
as well. Kev O'Sullivan says it's the same system for everyone and all clubs signed up to it, so just get on with it. Yeah, Kev, you can get on with it, but the system. They have all signed up for it, and I think it's a mistake that they've signed up for it. There should have been way more, I suppose, examples and different things, like case studies put in place and shown to them, because there's no way that these clubs are being shown 50, 100, 150 case studies of different things and how it's going to work, because and if they have, I don't know how they've signed up for it, because it's all over the place. And and this isn't me being bitter, because Liverpool won the game and we've had a couple of decisions in our favour, we've had a couple of decisions against, and believe it or not, it probably does even itself out, but just the way it's implemented for me is still wrong. And look, I'm not going to go any further on it because I do it every week and I'm probably getting bored at this stage. Come on, Chris, I know you want to get in there.
Yeah, well, the big thing is, it's been in the Champions League now for 2 years, and it's not. We don't have as many of this controversy or crap about VAR in Europe, in the Champions League. But they do. I think the way the English do it, this higher bar bollocks, is I think the English try to be a little bit too clever.
Yeah.
As in, why don't you just implement how they use it in the Champions League? Because you know, all the European sides are used to it, and we're used to it as Liverpool fans. So are United, so are Chelsea, so are City. So we're kind of used to the way they use it in that sense. So why don't you try that and then look to improve it from there? Why don't you use almost like something that's got like a year, it's been bedded in for a year at that standard? That way, then at least then you go, well, that's how we use it in the Champions League and Europa League. We'll use it the same way because then it's consistent.
Yeah.
And then as and when we see things out right, they could go to UEFA or whoever looks after it, saying these are the improvements we've seen we can have in our league.
Yeah.
That would probably cause less controversy.
Yeah. No,
there's definitely it says, well, we'll get a penalty for this in Europe, but you won't get a penalty for that in England.
Yeah. No,
that's where it's a bit daft, really.
But you are literally going into two separate competitions with two versions of VAR.
Yep.
At the end of the day, so I still think it's way off what it could be. Absolutely miles off. And I understand if people like Andy has said to me, it's only Mark version 1 of it, and I'm kind of going, well, they've made the case that there's so much money in football now they can't get decisions wrong, but they're willing to work on several versions of this. Just get it right. Get it right, and if you have to go to Liverpool and Manchester United and say, you need to close this part of your ground, and we need to put a big screen up, that's what you do. And that's the way it goes. But look, we'll get off it. Any update on Gino Wijnaldum's injury? I want to ask you that.
Not that I've heard, but I know he's travelled, hasn't he, to Qatar?
He has.
Unlike Lovren. So which says to me either they're going to assess it over there and possibly maybe he's going to be fit for the final, or maybe he's not going to play at all and they're going to use it as a bit of warm weather training to get him fit. With Lovren not travelling, it makes you think whatever Lovren's got is probably a bit more serious.
Yep.
Because you think if his was a niggle or it'll be settled in a week, you think they'd let him fly to Qatar, a bit of warm weather training, can't do you any harm.
Or maybe he is close to fitness and just that sort of travel isn't recommended.
Maybe.
It could be one of those injuries where sitting on the plane for 6 hours is just not recommended, and that's just the way it is. But you haven't heard an update anyway on Wijnaldum.
I've not seen anything social media wise. Grizz hasn't sent me any updates, so I don't know of anything at the moment.
And if Grizz doesn't say anything, nothing's happened. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, Grizz seems to have the inside track lately. With his KLOPP shouts. Give the man his credit.
Don't fall into that rabbit hole, please. You'll only regret it.
Yeah. There's plenty of other things he's not quite. What was his prediction for the game? A tricky, comfortable 3-0.
A tricky, comfortable 3-0. Yeah, and then tried to tell us after the game he got it right because he said 2-0, and when I listened back, he said 3-0.
He said 3-0. He said 3-0 because we were laughing because he said tricky, comfortable, which is an oxymoron.
Oh yeah, like it's like he has splinters from sitting on that fence, really does. But that was the one kind of downer on the game when Wijnaldum going off. Salah gets a second then in injury time. Liverpool, I thought, were a bit better second half. Now, I think it's Delafeu has a chance second half. There is that Van Dijk incident, but that's never going in. He just doesn't take a look at where Alisson is. That's all the problem is. But the good thing is he doesn't put the back pass towards goal. If he puts it towards goal, Alisson's there. The ways. But he gets the goal. Salah, it's a really, really good finish, isn't it? Because Origi makes a complete and utter mess of it.
Oh, it's a great disguise pass that way, about.
Yeah, brilliant assist. And he goes down as an assist, which is amazing. Anyone that has him in fancy football is like, all right, he didn't score, but what an assist. But it's a brilliant finish.
I know. Brilliant, great instinct. Absolutely brilliant instincts. And that's generally when Salah's at his best, when it's an instinct.
Yeah, and do you know what? I think it shows the confidence in him, and people have commented on here saying, Salah looks back to his best. I think it was Megan might have said it earlier, that Salah looks like he's back to his best. Them sort of things is what shows you that the confidence is really flowing in him again, because that kind of one with Salah maybe going back a couple of weeks ago, when he wasn't playing too badly, it just wasn't at the form he's at. Like, he scored more goals than Suarez and Torres now for Liverpool in less games. So, it's not like he hasn't been performing. But I think a couple of weeks back, that would have been one where he may have tried to take a touch and poke it in the net. But this one was just pure instinct, bang, it's in the net, and it's 2-0 game over. Yeah,
we saw that Champions League after he scored that ridiculous goal. He said, "Oh, he's 4 and 6."
Yeah.
I was like, "Is he?"
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's not bad. That. Yeah. when you think he's doing crap, I think 4-6 is not a bad record.
No, it's not. If he continues to the end of the season with 4 goals in 6 games, I think we'll do all right. A lot of people asking on about Villa. We're on Tuesday. We're not going to try to pick a team because I think it's ridiculous. We might just see how we approach it and stuff like that. But look, it's a good win. It put us 10 points clear. With the 3:00 games coming up, and of course the games today. Leicester were held at home by Norwich, and that was one that came right out of the blue for me. I thought Leicester were just going to steamroll them, but is that just a one-off? And because I felt like yesterday was a game, it was a set of fixtures yesterday where a lot of teams looked leggy.
It's a set of fixtures where you thought there's a lot of what you call gimme wins, where you kind of
Chelsea, Bournemouth, that kind of way.
Yeah.
Did the teams look a bit leggy? Is this where where they talk about the big festive period? Is this where it's clicked in and teams are starting to lose their legs a little bit, going off form a little bit? Was yesterday the signal for that?
I think for the European clubs, yes. Leicester haven't really got that excuse because they're only playing 1 game a week. Leicester just surprisingly seemed quite flat. Once they got themselves to 1-1, you thought, right, here we go, 1-1, that's it. We're going to they'll just cruise it now. And to be honest, Krul didn't have that much to do. I mean, Krul's a particularly dreadful goalkeeper, so you shouldn't think it should be that hard to beat. But he was, I thought for Norwich, it was relatively comfortable, which I never thought you'd say going to the King Power, because it's normally a pain to work there.
Yeah.
If anything, Norwich should have done better than getting a 1-1 draw. I think, unfortunately, I was joking with my friends, if Pookie could run, he'd have scored. Then we found out later he's playing with a broken toe, so that's possibly why he can't. That's why he can't run.
Yeah. No, but
I mean, I did think later said, well, he's got a broken toe. Why didn't you take him off?
It puts extra pressure on Leicester as well going into this game against City midweek. Padraig O'Callaghan says Leicester are out of it now. 10 points is too big for them. Well, I can't see Leicester breaking 90 points, and I can't see City doing it either. Let's be honest. Keith Plunkett says he can't wait for the Villa lineup. It's going to be squad number bingo, lowest number to be about 57. Barry Carr says sun on the backs of these players is going to be like a mini holiday. We'll have a properly refueled while the rest are slaving away in the cold. Yeah, I'd like to see them straight after that final that they're in get back and get used to the cold again before we go to Leicester, because you don't want to be coming back thinking it wasn't great in Qatar and it was lovely and warm. Send them out nearly naked on the 23rd to train, and that'll get them right back into the groove. But look, Leicester, somebody says there, Kev says Leicester saw how a draw feels like a loss. That's real pressure. It's massive pressure on them now going into the City game. City took Arsenal apart today. Arsenal were in absolute shambles. Chelsea look like they're struggling now at the moment. United missed a chance to get really close to Chelsea. Spurs had a last minute winner away to Wolves, so I think they've pushed right up on top of Chelsea as well. So
well, next week it's Spurs Chelsea. I think if Spurs win, they go level with Chelsea.
Yeah, so they're right on their coattails.
Which is mad when you think where Spurs were not so long ago.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. And to think where Spurs were exactly 14th, 15th in the league and about 10, 11 points off top 4.
Something like that,
yeah. So it looks like Chelsea are the one falling away and giving a little bit of hope, well, more than a little bit, I suppose, to the rest chasing top 4. And the other one you can't count out at the moment is Sheffield United. I watched Sheffield United against Villa yesterday, and barely having to listen to Dion Dublin, who's completely crackers. They were really good as well.
Sheffield United, the breath of fresh air. They've kind of done the best of both worlds. They're defensively very, very solid, but they're very inventive going forward. I mean, look, we've seen, having gone to their place already, that's a hard place to go. They're going to take points of a lot of teams this year.
Yeah.
Chris Wilder deserves a load of credit because that's the sort of game now where you're going. Not different styles of football, but it used to be like you don't want to have a midweek game against Stoke or Burnley. Now it is like you don't want to go away to Sheffield United ever. It's just a game you're like, I don't want this. I could do without this. I'm quite glad we got ours out of the way.
Yeah.
But back to the Leicester thing.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling the City game might suit Leicester. City will have all the ball, and then it's looking for counters. And as crap as Arsenal were, and they were crap.
Oh, they were appalling.
They still, with their pace, had chances to get behind City. Just the fact that they can't pass a ball 2 yards is what killed them. But the likes of a Maddison, a Perez, Damari Gray, they could still hurt that City back 4. I think, especially with Otamendi, I think is a walking red card.
I think it'll be a very, very entertaining game. But I'm trying to plot it, like I'm genuinely plotting different things and different scenarios in my head, and it's one of those where I'm looking, going, right, 10 clear to Leicester, 14 clear to City. What do we want to happen? And right now I'm thinking, if you can get a draw out, if the draw comes out of that game, you're thinking 9 ahead of Leicester, 13 ahead of City, a game in hand on both. And if you go and win at Leicester, you're 12 clear them with a game in hand. You're gone what, I don't know, 16 clear to City. And then you're looking at your 2 home games over the festive period with Wolves and Sheffield United coming to Arsenal, or coming to Anfield. But look, we just have to take them one game at a time. Lewback 77. I haven't seen him on here before either. He's very welcome as well. Leicester have a great midfield, but if their front three get injured, they will struggle. I agree with him. Kev O'Sullivan says only 20 players have travelled. 2 kids. Take a spare keeper out of it. What else you say there? It's gone. I know it's gone. Lewback says I hope Elliott and Jones get some game time. Porrick says who do you want to win, City or Leicester? I want to draw.
I'd say Elliott's not travelled.
Elliott hasn't travelled?
No. The only 2 kids he's took is Nico Williams and Curtis Jones. They've left Brewster and Harvey Elliott at home, which says they're going to start in the League Cup game.
Did I not see them listed, or was that an initial squad that they put together?
They're in the initial 23, but with the 20 that's left, I'm sure the Echo said they've decided out that's why they've left out Harvey Elliott, they've left out Brewster, and they've left out Lovren. And the talk is Brewster might be going to Swansea on 1st of Jan.
Oh, okay. Because Antico says that Harvey Elliott a hat-trick against Villa. We get to watch Harvey Elliott on Tuesday night against Villa. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Porrick asked there, City, what do you want? City win, Leicester win, draw? What do you want there?
I think after the win yesterday, I was like, I'll take a City win, because it keeps the gap at 10 points. But now I'm sort of thinking probably a draw is probably the better chance, because I still think
kills both of them.
I think it kills both of them. Yeah, it's a bit like the United Everton game today. A draw doesn't really help either side. So I think a draw doesn't really help them. If anything, a draw probably helps Leicester more than it helps City, because Leicester can talk themselves out of that, going, look, we've got to draw at the Etihad, which not many people do. Yeah. I'll take that. I think City is like, it's another drop. It's more drop points at home, which they've already dropped more than they have the last couple of years. So I don't think that will help them. I think that will see how fragile their mentality is then to it.
Yeah, there's loads of different opinions on it coming in. Liverpool Chris says City versus Leicester, best result for LFC is a draw. Brady Carr says a Mexican side won't be as handy as it could have been. Perhaps starts as a full team with the exception of Hendo, Bobby, and maybe Trent. We'd have to wait and see with regards to how players recover after the Watford game, I suppose. Luback says he still fears City because they might buy Koulibaly in January. I have a theory on this as well. I'll get to it in a minute. Key Plunka says if Leicester gets stuffed by City and beaten by us, I can see them falling away. They've got where they are on the back of an easy run. Unless they can beat the big teams, they won't get near 90 points. I fully agree with that. I think Elliott flies
top 4.
Oh yeah. I think they do. Liverpool Chris says he thinks Elliott flies out to Qatar after the Villa game. I'm not too sure. I think if he stays, he might stay. Brady Carr says the whole lot of Tuesday's team could head out to Qatar. Sorry, excuse me. I'm still recovering from the gang flu.
I think Klopp's made it quite clear.
Yeah,
he didn't want to do the whole split squad routine, so I think he's decided they're the 20 lads I need to hopefully win this. The rest of you can wait.
Yeah, I think so as well. But just going, Luback says I hope City loses. They will concentrate on Europe. But just on this Leicester versus City thing, the way I'm looking at it is I'm just looking at winning the next 3 league games, because I'm thinking if we win the next 3, we're looking at 13 points ahead of Leicester. Even if Leicester we'd be 13 points, we'd be 10 points ahead with a game in hand, even if they beat City. But if we get to the turn of the year, and I think if Leicester get beaten by us and City, that's it. They're finished. Forget about it. They'd be way too far behind. But then you're looking at the gap to City. So I think a draw there would put City 13 points behind us. If we were to beat Leicester, then and not win our other 2 games, you're looking at least 13 with a game in hand. You know, the kind of way. And I'm backing Liverpool with a 13-point lead over anybody. They can combine Barcelona and Man City together for the rest of the season if they want. I just don't see anybody going near us.
I'm wanting us to be, if we keep this gap of 10 to 13 points by the end of Jan, I don't think that will, I not do it, but I think that will then make it a pretty spectacular fall from grace if we don't do it from there. Because I think in January we've got
we've
Man U
tough
at home
games.
and Tottenham away,
Yeah.
and I think we've got Wolves as well in that period, and
Yeah.
we've still got the replay of West Ham somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think if we get to the end of January and the gap's still at least 10 points, I think then you could start plotting and rotating a lot better in terms of who you get in the Champions League. I mean, hopefully the Champions League will find out Monday who we get. Fingers crossed for someone like a Leon will be quite good.
Or Atlanta or something.
Yeah, someone told me. I think it was Anthony Rapp was saying if you get Atalanta, they're playing their European games in the San Siro, which will be the last time probably Liverpool could play in San Siro before they knock it down.
Yeah, they are indeed. I don't think their ground is up to the standard required for Champions League. Like Lubac says there, and I'll go back to it. He says, "I hope City lose. They will concentrate on Europe." You want to give either Leicester or City as many kicks as you can. So if they draw against each other and we beat Leicester, you're looking at we've come back and we're straight back into it. That kind of way. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll become a lot clearer after that game, City against Leicester during the week, as to where we are and what we want. But I think just the massive thing for me is the 3 games coming up in the league. If you go and win them and you turn into the new year and you've still only dropped 2 points all season, nobody's going near us. And against that, City drawing against Leicester would leave them with a maximum of 96 points for the season, and they're not maxing it. So there you go. Barry Carr reckons we're getting Real Madrid. This game. Let's talk about this game. I suppose Villa on Tuesday. It's going to be a lot of young kids. All of them are going to be young kids. Let's be honest about it. The only ones there with any first team experience, Harvey Elliott, because he played in the League Cup. 1 or 2 others. You don't really fancy Liverpool going and doing anything at Villa, do you?
No, not the slightest.
No.
And do you know what? If Liverpool actually get something out and get past Villa, the most angry person will be Jurgen Klopp, because I'm pretty certain he's tried everything he can to get out of this competition. Played the kids, played Chirivella when he's ineligible. He's just got no time for the League Cup. Part of me, if this sounds horrible, there is a part of me that wants us to get beat quite comfortably by Villa, and I never normally wish that at Liverpool. But I think then it makes a show of the EPL. It's going, well, listen, you guys didn't do anything to fix this.
Yeah.
So it resulted in what would have been a very prestigious tie, being Villa versus Liverpool reserves. And you haven't got that now. So it's going to make them look a bit stupid. I mean, to be honest, I don't think they care.
Yeah.
I think actually they're probably hopeful we go out, because I think if we won it or got to the semi-finals, I think that would be quite comical. But I can't see us getting past them. Now, I know Villa got beat at the weekend, and I think they've got a big game next week. I think they're playing Southampton. I think it's like a point between them, so it's a bit of a relegation 6-pointer.
Yeah.
But even if they rest a few players, it's not going to be, they're still going to play the likes of Grealish, Wesley,
Yeah.
Most of the first team, McGinn will probably play. So, they may put the reserve goalie in, but I just can't see Liverpool getting anything. But then again, why should you? You shouldn't expect a load of 18-year-olds to beat a Premier League side.
Yeah.
You shouldn't really.
Yeah.
So
we'll just have
sadly,
to wait and see. I'm looking forward to it anyway, just to watch them. Listen, if they get beaten, I'd like to see if it was a 2-0 or 3-1 or something like that. I don't want to see them getting mauled 5 and 6. But
no,
Bellum Guy says
the
League Cup, the likes of Herbie Kane, Larouci will play in the League Cup. It'll be exciting to see them, and you never know. These lads could come out and go, listen, nobody's giving us a chance here, but Klopp could have told them, you just go out and do whatever you want here, enjoy ourselves, and you never know what can come off. You know what I mean? And let's be honest, if Villa were to go a goal down there, that place will turn on them very, very quickly. Let me see. Barry Carr says, has Paddy Power paid out on us winning the league yet? No, they haven't. But I think we're about 8-1 on at the moment to win the league. So we'll listen. Let's just concentrate one game at a time. I've told you what's happening. 14 more wins, lads. If Liverpool get 30 league wins this season, they are winning the league. Trust me.
I saw a stat the other day, which I know you'd like. It was on about, if based on the points per game we're going at the moment versus Leicester. Leicester can't get above 90 points to carry on the rate they're going. And it says Liverpool would win the game with 7 games to go. We'll win the league with 7 games to go. Guess what game we win the league at? We win
away
the league
at
if that was true. No, away at City.
Oh, lovely.
But we can win Can you imagine if that actually turned out to be true?
Yeah, that'd be amazing. But listen, I'll take it. Whenever it happens, I'll take it. But trust me, we can afford 3 defeats and 4 draws. 7 of those, 7 results in our last, what's left, 21 games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there you go. So, lads, trust me, I have it all worked out. I absolutely have it worked out. If anybody wants to throw any random questions in here, absolutely throw them in. Now is your time. Random questions, random football questions, transfer questions. Go for it, because we're finished talking about Liverpool, we're finished talking about the Premier League and stuff like that. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button. It's very, very simple to do. It's just a big like button and you just click on it. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and every time we go live, you will get a notification. You don't have to watch, but maybe some night you'll be sitting there going, oh yeah, I will watch that. Them lads weren't actually that unbearable. Scout Ian says, sorry, said 3, it'll be 4 if Leicester beat both of us. Obviously, we have a game in hand. Yeah, I'm not going down that route. I really aren't. But the women's team, I want to touch on with you, Chris, because I know you're an avid follower of them. So before we get on to random questions at that, for the next 15 minutes, we'll have us all over the place. They got a 1-1 draw in the cup today, am I right?
No, 1-1 draw in the league to Chelsea.
Were they playing in the cup?
They played in the cup on Wednesday night. I managed to get out of work early, so it took me daughter to that, because unfortunately, me and her missed our first home game in 2 years, and they get a 1-1 draw with Chelsea. And all the time I've been following Liverpool, we struggle terribly against Chelsea, because they're a really good side. They're full of internationals, England players, fantastically great side. So to get a draw, I mean, unfortunately, Liverpool are still without a win, but it's now they're starting to build on it. Narrow defeats to City, narrow defeat to Arsenal, winning the cup, and now we've got a draw with a title contender. That's dropped them down to 3rd. So it's I think they're starting to get a few points which the performances deserve. Yeah, they have definitely getting a little bit short end of the stick in terms of luck. So and I was watching on the FAI player. They were well worth the draw. Look, Chelsea had a lot of the ball, which you would expect. Yeah, but Liverpool were dangerous on the break. They did really well, took the lead. It was good equalised by Chelsea, and then the keeper and defence did really, really well. The captain Sophie Bradley-Orcon was excellent. The 2 girls who are playing up front, Rinsola Babajide and the goal scorer Neve Charles, did really, really well. Both 2 very young girls. One's 20, one's 19. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. But no, it was nice to see us get a positive result. And hopefully that'll kick us on in the new year. So they're off now until mid-Jan. Okay. I think mid-Jan the league starts up again.
Right, well, as our LFC ladies correspondent, we will be back with you mid-Jan to find out what's going on. Avo asks, how are Grasshopper Zurich going, Gav? Interesting you asked that. I have my other laptop actually charging at the moment, and Grasshopper Zurich will be looked at on Football Manager 2018 later on tonight. I can tell you I think there's 36 league games. I'm about 24 league games in, and I am top of the league by about 11 points, so it's going well. The amount of money I'm being given on it is atrocious. I'm obviously going to have to get in Champions League and get some money there before I go, but I'm wondering, do I take a big offer? If another club comes in, do I take a big offer? We'll have to wait and see. Ballum Guy 2020 asks, any players you think will leave in January? No. Chris? No? Okay. No. Kev O'Sullivan says, do you guys see any big business on the cards, the likes of Chelsea, United, Arsenal, etc.?
I think I said a while back, I think this could be a bit of a mad January.
Is that because of the Chelsea ban being lifted? Solskjaer looking a bit more stable at United and maybe giving some money to spend, because they might have a chink of light with regards to top 4, and Arsenal will probably have a new manager in place and might want to do something in the market. Is that what you're thinking? This? Because Lou back there says he sees Chelsea spending big.
Yeah, I can see Chelsea just before Chelsea had the ban listed. But I think when we went into the summer, just to see the summer ended, you could pretty much go through every team and go, they're short somewhere. You always felt, if you look at United, you always felt they were a striker short because they were relying on two young players, talented but young. You look at Arsenal, they're always a defender short. They've got 5 defenders short at the moment. Tottenham definitely needs some sort of defender and probably another attacking talent. From what I read about Chelsea, is they need another winger, because the Chelsea sound a bit like us 2 years ago. They can't break down deep line teams. Yep. So, I mean, the classic one for Chelsea seems to be Zaha. That seems to be the rumour going round.
Yeah,
Which is Zaha. It
I
stays
think
in London.
you'll see Zaha. You'll see Zaha being linked with Arsenal as well.
Yeah. So I think that, and then for us, I still like to think we do one more. I mean, the Minamoto. Is that how you say his name? Minamoto?
Yeah, Minamoto.
I'm gonna go with that.
No, Minamino.
Minamino.
I keep saying Minimoto. I keep doing it.
I've got it wrong every time.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Japanese lad. That was a bit of a surprise. No, I think no one saw that coming, but I still feel like we might buy another attacker. I know people talk about defenders, but I think the only way we buy a defender is if we're told Matip or Lovren is very long term. Yeah, like, they're going to be able to March or something like that.
Well, Minamino. Somebody's asked there. The World Club Cup. Where is it on? Northred says BBC Two. I think BBC have got the rights to all that. Harry says thoughts on Mane to PSG rumours. I did see something during the week. Mane's going nowhere. Don't worry about it.
What's about
Grizz does back up your talk about Brewster, and he says he will leave in January. It looks like a loan. I think he was just talking to Leeds. I think it was Swansea you mentioned as well, was it?
Swansea's the one I've just seen flash up today.
All right, okay. I think Grizz was telling me earlier during the week that it may be, he thinks he may be in discussions with Leeds. Barry Carr says Chelsea probably go for Ziyech. Remember him? Yeah, everyone remembers him. Werner. So a lot of people have asked for Werner. Liverpool, Chris included. Werner. There's apparently a £31 million buyout clause there.
Seems very low, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you see, when he signed this new deal, he hadn't got much left on his deal. When he signed this new deal, he obviously had this inserted. With Minamino being signed, can you see us doing another one up top in January? Because I don't.
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
Personally? Yeah, because I think Minamino is going to play more like a David Silva, Bernardo Silva type. As in, I think Klopp will put him in midfield.
It's where he sees. It's where he sees him probably elevated above the likes of Lallana, Shaqiri. Is that where you're going?
I think so. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, because I think James Pearce has pretty much said Klein and Lallana are got in the summer anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like they've got the Lallana replacement in early.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about that. Now look, he may end up playing the wing this year till he gets used to the Premier League, but that's where I could see him playing. Or it may be. And this 4-2-3-1 we talked about, we said we didn't think it worked. Mm-hmm. Maybe it works if we have him on the right.
Yeah.
Minamino instead. So from what I see, I don't know, I don't follow the Bundesliga, but from what I see of Werner, he seems to sort of play we need more than a Sancho. As in, he can play through the middle, he can play out wide, and he's a goal threat. And, look, apparently Sancho's very, very good, but for 100 million, don't know, in my head, for 100 million, I'm expecting more. For 100 million.
Yeah, because there was somebody on here the other day, and it might have been Maverick on YouTube, and he was saying he doesn't see it happening because they have him at 195 grand. He can't see us going near that on top of a 100 million fee. He just feels that deal, although being heavily linked to us by reputable sources, he just doesn't see it happening unless they can work something out. Liverpool Chris says the 31 release clause on Werner is for Champions League teams, and Nordred feels it's a snip at that price. Stephen Kingsbury says he thinks Werner will join us for sure, probably in the summer. Could be a January pre-contract deal. Maybe so, you don't know. Luback says if Brewster goes out on loan, then expect a striker. I'm not too sure. I'm genuinely not too sure if he has Minamino in there that he wants to put somebody else in the squad, because it is a little bit of upheaval in the squad when you add two. Adding one, yeah, I'm not too bad with it. Like Luback says there, Klopp is a huge fan of Kai Havertz. There's loads of names going to come out, isn't there?
Yeah. The only benefit of Werner I could see is if we started Werner and say we rested a Mane or a Salah, I don't think it changes how we play that much, because I think he fits in any of the front three positions. Whereas I do feel when we start Origi, we do have to change how we play.
Does he fit does he fit? And I'm going to ask this, and this is me probably being ignorant on Timo Werner, because I'm going to be honest, I've probably seen him play 10 times. I'm going to say 10 times, right?
From what I've read,
I know he can play across the front three. That's I'm not arguing with that, and I'm not going to go against anyone that says that. But when you say that he could come out and play in any of those front three positions, surely our style has to change, because is he that linking player that Mane can be with that lovely intricate stuff? Is he just pure pace, where you put him up front and you play kind of different if you want to take Firmino out?
My suspicion is he's a bit more. I think my position is a bit more pace, a bit more front, maybe a little bit a bit more over the shoulder. But I just think I just feel like he's one of those sort of players that I think if he starts, I don't think we panic as much. Whereas I do think when Origi starts, I do think we do change how we play a little bit.
Yeah,
because his best assets are he's very direct, he's very physical. His best game for Liverpool was in the derby. Well, we played in the middle, and we played it long, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we do change how we play, and I still think for Origi, he's our best sub. I think if we need a goal, I think Origi's got some sort of mentality where when he comes off with 20 minutes to go, he knows what to do. Whereas when he starts, he gets lost a little bit sometimes. I just feel like he's become one of those players who's the perfect sub. Yeah. So if we keep him as the perfect sub, but then we've got the other four to fight it out for 3 positions to start up front, I think it's quite good. I think that's quite good. And most other big clubs don't seem to worry about this. They find harmony.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty certain Liverpool need to research the players quite well to make sure they're not.
Yeah,
they're not a pain in the arse.
Yeah, they're not making their mind up on the 31st of December who they're signing in January if they are going to. Stephen Kingsbury says Werner will be a direct competition for Firmino, and that swayed me a little bit because with the talk of maybe Minamino being maybe elevated above say Shaqiri or indeed more so Lallana, I suppose. Maybe there is a spot there that you can bring in and really bolster, And Kev and Chris both say here, Werner's playing in the false 9 this season, as opposed to last season when he was on the left wing. So there you go. That you're educating me. I'm being honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know every footballer in the world and what they do week on week. So you're definitely educating me. Somebody, I think it was Chemical Kev, put in a comment there earlier about controlling time, but had an Easter egg comment in there as well. Chemical Kev, if you can throw it back up there for me, I'll absolutely love to see that before we go. Let me see. Barry Carr says Werner's banging them in. Forget Haaland, all Werner, everything. Dembele is unsettled at Barca, and under Klopp he will be a beast. I think that ship has probably sailed. Tom Connolly says, "Go on."
I think Dembele's got an attitude that I think Klopp's headed.
Yeah, no.
What you hear about him is there's 2 clubs now that both seem to say he's a bit of a pain for training and stuff like that. So I'm not sure we want to touch that, to be honest.
No. Tom Connolly says Klopp alluded to an interesting point during his contract extension press conference. Saying that staying at the club a bit longer will attract certain players. I think there's a big signing on. Yeah, very interesting. Lubac and Barry Carr have taken to drugs. I can announce that because they've both asked about Moise Keane. Lads, relax. Scouse Ian's.
Oh, Johnny might be what happened to him today.
Yeah, but Barry's asking, should we save him? Lubac is saying he has potential. No, not for me. Scouse Ian says, can't see LFC paying 100 million for Sancho unless someone is leaving. Sancho won't come to sit on the bench. I think that's a very fair point, but we'll have to just see what January see what comes and see what happens, because as I said before, and I'll say it again, we love speculating, we love throwing opinions out on players, arguing over them, arguing over what we should and shouldn't do, and then Klopp just decides what we do. And brilliant. If you had to change your first name, good one, Alan. If you had to change your first name, what would you change it to? Go on, Chris.
John,
because
that's actually what I was going to be called.
Okay.
And my dad decided a week before I was born to change his mind.
Right, okay. I do know my father wanted to call me Arthur for some fucking mad reason, but it never happened. My mother put her foot
Arthur
down.
Doyle?
Yeah.
Isn't that an author?
No, I don't think so. There's Arthur Guinness, but that's a different issue altogether. What would I change my name to? I just changed to something like Sadio, just for the crack. I think I would. Why not? Bellum says, will Klopp stay until 2024? Will Gerrard take over? Bellum, I can tell you the thoughts of Steven Gerrard managing Liverpool Football Club absolutely terrifies me. Absolutely. I'll actually do a show on it one night where we'll just discuss this issue, because it absolutely terrifies me. I won't say any more than that, and I might do a special where I just pre-record it and have 3 or 4 people in the discussion with me and throw it out there and give you me full views on it. Avo the Third says, on the building jump, Gav, would you jump further if someone was throwing solid big eggs at you? Yeah, I think you would. The 11 mile an hour is huge, though. It's absolutely huge. The 11 mile an hour help is absolutely huge. So, but I'm still sticking to about 3 meters 9 10 feet, I reckon I could do it no bother. Absolutely no bother. And anybody that tells you that big solid Easter eggs are a no-no because they could threaten Premier League players' careers, stop it, will you? You know what I mean? Don't be minding Andy. He just has notions. Don't mind him. Carl says Arthur Conan Doyle wrote the Sherlock Holmes books. No
That's
way.
what I just googled now. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Never knew that.
That.
I should know that because KLOPP comes on this show and he's Sherlock Holmes mad, isn't he? Is it Sherlock Holmes he's into?
It is, yeah, because he's done the thing with the Alexa, isn't he?
Yeah. It is Sherlock Holmes. Sorry, before I went any further, he is into Sherlock Holmes. He's also into Jack the Ripper. He's massive into Jack the Ripper as well, but I think he's into Sherlock Holmes as well. I should know that. Don't tell Carl I didn't know that. But if you've any other random questions, throw them in. We've about 2 minutes left.
Do you want my 2 pence on Steven Gerrard, or do you want to save that?
No, save it because I'll probably have you on that show.
Okay.
So keep it there.
Okay.
Keep it there. But it absolutely terrifies me because I'm not going. I'm not saying it. There's Ray now. Ray, who was at the game yesterday, just has a big Gavlar written there, and I couldn't change my name to anything else because Ray would get extremely upset at the fact that he couldn't call me Gavlar like he does more or less every day of the week.
If you were Sherlock
Holmes,
I can't say it. That's him. Who would be your Watson?
Oh, like me sidekick.
Yeah, who'd be your sidekick?
I think the best sidekick you could have would be just for people I know, like.
Well, it could be people you know. It's your sidekick. You pick who you want.
Right. Well, I tell you what. Someone I know very well. Can I have 2?
Go on, you can have 2.
Okay, right.
One that's personal, and then one we know.
Great. Okay, so the one that I'd love because I know him. He's a very, very good friend of mine. He does be on the podcast every now and then. Is Paddy Lawson, of the Lawson clan. Shawnee Lawson also being the other one. Paddy Lawson is just a madman, and to go around trying to solve mysteries with Paddy Lawson will be an absolute experience. The other one I would have if Paddy wasn't available would be, and I've only met this guy once, maybe twice, but I love listening to him. He's brilliant. Is Adam Melia off the Anfield Rap?
He's brilliant.
Adam Melia. I met him in person, and the first time I ever met Adam Melia in person, we were standing outside the pub in Dublin, and a fella came through the door, fell down a step, and literally broke his ankle in about 4 places in front of us, and we just stood and kept drinking. So Adam Melia would be my second. Who'd yours be?
I'm trying to think.
Stephen says that Grizz can't be my sidekick. He wouldn't. Grizz is too lazy to be fucking anyone's sidekick. Kev O'Sullivan says, let me see. He's agreeing with me on something. Unless he does what Rodgers is doing now, then I don't want to see Steven Gerrard. Oh, Steven Gerrard. Yeah, I'm gonna set up a show with 3 or 4 people about that. Go on, give us your sidekick.
Do you know? Because I think I think Neil Axon would be funny but I don't think he'd like the idea of being a sidekick though.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I
think he'd be funny, but I don't think he'd like being called a sidekick.
I don't know. I think he'd be alright.
So I think that'd be quite good.
I don't think I'd be.
He's got plenty of contacts.
I don't think I'd beating Paddy or Adam Melia, to be honest with you.
I do like Adam Mealy. He's very, very good.
Razor says, little known fact, Anfield was colder than the fucking North Pole yesterday. There you go. That's how cold it was. 5:30 on Wednesday. Everybody, we start the World Club competition. 5:30 on Wednesday. So we get to watch Liverpool Tuesday on Wednesday. It's deadly. Go on, what were you going to say?
I forgot what I was going to say now.
Doesn't matter. Dunno says, Bad Santa. Great show. I have to watch that. There's 2 of them now, isn't there? There's a Bad Santa 1 and 2. I have to watch them before Christmas. I love the first one. I can't remember if we've seen the second one, but I'm definitely going to give it a go. Nordred is very excited about the 2 Liverpool games in a row. Gerrard needs to manage a team like West Ham before us. There's more to it than that. There's absolutely more to it than that. Trust me. I'll definitely do a show on this and get it out and let people hear people's views. Now, I'll have to find someone that really wants them and somebody that absolutely no way, and then a couple of lads in the middle, and we go from there. Okay. Anything else before we go?
Some breaking news here has just come out. Memphis Depay of Lyon. He has tore his ACL in both knees.
What?
It's just come up from Lyon now. Said Olympic Lyon deplores the serious injuries of Memphis Memphis. It's 2 players. Memphis victims of ACL ruptures of the left knee and the right knee. So 2 of their players have tore their ACLs. Fucking hell, that's pretty bad.
Are they from tackles?
It doesn't say. I've just seen it flash up. So, Memphis is their. Depay's their main goal threat.
Absolutely. Scouse Ian says Indy Coiler for the banter. Indy's deadly. I love him. And listen,
brilliant.
if you're taking him too seriously, stop. Just stop. Let me see. Give us a date on the Stevie G show. I don't have a date on it. Let me see. Dunno says he just releases it a few minutes after everyone else. Who's releasing it? Oh, it's this Indy Coiler.
Indy.
Yeah, no, listen. For me, he's entertainment.
He's funny. He's so funny.
He's entertainment. Kevin Sullivan says that. Come on.
The best line he ever did was about the transfer deadline day. He said, "Oh, it's been horrific. It's been horrendous. This I've had a wash for 3 days." And KFC's official Twitter tweeted and said, "I beg your pardon."
Yeah,
because obviously he's got the whole KFC thing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's what I like about him, because he gets that sort of comment. People get worked up by him. I just think it's daft. He's having a laugh, just join in with it. It's good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephen Kingsley said he would not want Gerrard's legendary status compromised if he did not do well as manager. Who else was there? Kevin Sullivan said that could be his career. That's horrible. Yeah, we'd have to wait and see. Who was the other player? Did they say who the other player was?
It is Rene Aladier. Is that the one who's played for Arsenal?
No, that's Jermaine Aladier. He's about 40 now. Don't worry about him.
I have no idea. Well, some lad I've never heard of.
Yeah, Chemical Kev says invisible means you could sneak in and make solid eggs. Yeah, you shouldn't need to sneak in. There's nothing wrong with solid eggs. Don't be minding Andy. I keep telling you. Andy's argument was solid Easter egg. Did you not listen to the solid Easter egg episode?
I must have missed this one. I remember, would you rather be invisible or controlled time?
Yeah, no, me and Andy had a big discussion last week. I'll talk to you after the show. I'll send you the link to it. It was ridiculous, to be perfectly honest. But Andy's argument more ridiculous than mine, I believe. But I might have to get public consensus on that. Listen, anything else before we go?
Nothing from me, mate, no.
Nothing from you. Okay, that's the end of the Fatback 4 Daily for this Sunday night. I'm off to try get Grasshopper Zurich into the Champions League. I may try get Bad Santa in at some stage tonight as well. I might just throw it on while I'm doing that. And the club is with you tomorrow night. That will be recorded tomorrow night and released tomorrow night. I will be back on Tuesday at 10. Who's the guest? God only knows. I only sort that out tomorrow. It's been a great show, Chris. Thanks a million for joining me.
Thanks for having me, mate.
No problem at all. Thanks a million for joining us. Thanks a million for watching. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Don't forget to share it on Twitter. Don't forget to download it. Don't forget to do all them things. Follow, subscribe, all that messing. That's been it. Talk to you in a bit. Over now.